my biggest problem right now during this pandemic has been dealing with some kind of imposter syndrome. I'm not sure if it exactly is imposter syndrome or not, but I've been just wrestling with my own, people's perception of me, and whether I appear like I know what I'm doing, whether I appear like I should be where I am. I have been very lucky to stay busy during COVID-19, and we've been blessed with so much work, and so many people have trusted us with our ability to deliver video content for their business or their nonprofit. And yeah, it is difficult, and to some degree, it's difficult to be this busy and feel like, am I the right person? Am I the real media? Am I who people should be trusting right now when it comes to content? Because there's so many different mixed messages of what to do and how to handle COVID-19. What I mean is, some people just want to reopen, and some people just want to get everybody back to work. But then there are a lot of other people that completely disagree with that. They want to continue a shutdown. They want to keep people at home, and they want to keep people basically just in in a kind of a state of limbo until someone says that we can get back to work. I have my reasons for why I don't think that we should be trusting 100% all our lives on their decisions. But I also have common sense, and I know that there is a virus out there that is causing a lot of death, a lot of illness, a lot of destruction. So just like with just like with many polarizing things in our society, I fall somewhere in the middle where it's like we have to think for ourselves, but also we have to have common sense. We have to trust what the experts are saying to the degree that we can take that information and then make a decision for ourselves and just be as responsible as we can. So I've been dealing with a lot of imposter syndrome because I'm out there and I'm helping people put together messages and stuff, and people go like, "Hey, should we be saying this? Should we be doing this? Should we, what should we say right now to get this message out?" And so when people sort of put trust in me as a professional in media, I think like, oh man, I want to make the best call possible. I don't want to just pull something out of my rear end and potentially ruin someone's reputation, or get someone in trouble, or God forbid someone gets sick because of whatever decision I have made, or whatever I helped to do. So there is a lot of that I was wrestling with mostly a few weeks ago, but I feel now that I've made peace with a lot of it. I feel like I have moved on from the hardest part of this. I keep calling it an imposter syndrome, but that's what it feels like. Um, because I've made peace with the fact that, not only do I not know everything, but I generally just believe that most people don't know what they're talking about. That's my consensus. That is my assessment of the overall picture, is that most people just don't know what they're talking about. I think that uh, some people have enough experience in dealing with the public and also in dealing with infectious diseases to say that they have some kind of confidence. They have some confidence about what's going on and what we should be doing. But at the end of the day, people are still just guessing. I mean, that's what we've seen from the very beginning, is that one day it's one thing and then the next day it's completely different. And that only tells me that people just don't know. When a message changes, it just means that someone in a room somewhere said, "Hey, well, let's do it this way." And um, so because of that, I've just made peace with the fact that there is going to be a lot of risk taking that is going to be involved in all of this. I've made peace with the risks involved in not just staying in business, but just living in this new world. Like, most people are going to come in contact with COVID-19. That's just a fact. Most people are going to, in some way, be impacted in a very significant way for their lives. And I think that making peace with that is crucial in being able to take one step forward and move forward in life. If we just make peace with the idea that, we might at some point become infected ourselves, that someone in our family might fall ill to this as well. If we just understand, that that is the way that the world might work, then I think that we can shed whatever fear is keeping us from just doing what we should be doing to rebuild our world, our economy, and our communities in a way that is just going to have a long-term positive effect. The most crippling thing in this, and this is kind of what I'm talking about when it comes to my own personal imposter syndrome, is fear. Fear is the most debilitating part of COVID-19 for society as a whole, but for the individual. Fear is what's making me second guess myself. It's what's making me, think like, am I doing the right thing? Am I the right person for the job? Should I just stay home and close my business and just file for unemployment? Like, should I just do that? Or should I take a risk and say, you know what, let's just do this? I don't know if I don't 100% for a fact know that this is the direction that we should go, but making a decision is better than making no decision. So let's just go in that direction. Like, do I think that that's the way to go? I personally I don't care what direction we go in. What I care about is that we just don't do it out of a sense of fear, and operate from a place of passion and courage and confidence and goodwill. I think that as long as we move forward with a sense of, I think that if we move forward with a mindset of victory, then no matter what direction we go in, no matter what we do during this time, we're only going to end up closer to where we should be and not further away in a place of complete dystopia. I personally think that the way that we get to dystopia, or chaos, and being completely dependent on a government that is not going to work, is by shedding our fear. And that's another part of it too, because there is also fear. There is fear on both sides, right? There's fear on the side of complete compliance because we just don't want to get sick and we don't want to see people die. So that fear is keeping people extremely compliant. But then on the other side, there's the fear that we're going to lose all of our liberties and that we're going to lose our businesses and we're going to lose our livelihoods. And so that fear is making people, go 100% on in the opposite direction. Whereas if you lose your sense of fear for both sides, lose your sense of fear of being, oppressed by a tyrannical government, and you lose your sense of fear of being sick or seeing people die or, coming into contact with COVID-19, and you just look at your life and you look at your community and you look at your family and you look at what are the things that need to be done right now around me to move forward, and that might have a long-lasting impact in my children's future and their children's future. I don't know if I'm going in the right direction, but I'm going to go this way instead. And I just think that the grass is a lot greener going that way. And I think that there is ultimately a greater reward in going in that direction than in going in either directions that are informed by fear. So that's really just what I want to say right now is, don't be afraid. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, however you're approaching your career right now, just don't be afraid. And if you need any help with anything, reach out to creative24video@gmail.com. I'll be happy to help however I can. If I can't help, then reach out to just anyone around you and say, hey, uh, I don't know what I want to do. I don't know what I should be doing, but I know I should be doing something. And I know I shouldn't just be at home on the couch watching TV, waiting for a check that may or may not come. I just want to take some kind of positive action in life right now. And I promise that, you're not going to not everybody's going to want to get, on that train with you, but some people will. And the people that do are the people that are worth, being with in a time like this.